I recently started sim racing and I find it frustrating and difficult, but I want to change that. So I'm going to take the time to learn how to sim race and bring you along with me for the journey. Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition is the game I chose for this video, and hopefully it'll help me improve my driving skills by using career mode. Please keep in mind, I am a middle-aged man, and I am just starting off with sim racing, but before we start racing, let's quickly take a look at my gear. I have a Playseat Evolution as the base of the rig. My racing wheel is a Logitech G920 driving force with the included adjustable floor pedals. My monitor is a Samsung Odyssey G5 34-inch ultra-wide, and supporting the monitor is a North Bayou monitor arm. And what makes all this run nice and smooth is my HP Omen 30L gaming computer with the RTX 3060 Ti GPU. Alright, so that's it for my rig. Let's start racing. Okay, here we go. This first event is a time attack in the Arbarth 500 at the Vallelunga circuit. I'm not going to bore you with all the footage from the time attack, but I did have a few mishaps and I did go off the track a few times. But once I got a feel for the car, I started doing much better. You know, time attacks are okay. I understand why they have them, so you can learn the track and understand the car, yada yada. But I do prefer the races over them. But with that said, I did have fun, I did complete the challenge, and now we get to move on to the meat and potatoes of these videos, which are the races. So this is my first race, same car, same track, 8 challengers. I start off in 8th position, and here we go. So I'm starting off at the back of the pack in 8th place. Not a lot of time to get the work done, but I am here to learn. I'm gonna put in the work, and I'm going to see what I can do. As we start off this race, I start making up some room on the 7th place guy, and of course, going into the first corner, I go wide. So like I said, I'm not really used to this car. I drop back a little bit, they get a little space between me and them, and now I have even more work to do.
Oh, this is terrible.
But I am trying to get my driving skills increased, so I won't let the first corner of my first lap bring me down. I will try and keep pushing and get some more positions. As you can see, I'm right there with them at this point. So on the 2nd and 3rd corners, I made a few moves and got my place up into 6th position. I had a little collision on the 4th corner, but it didn't stop me from making my move and getting myself into 5th place. So one of the goals of this race was to be in 4th place by the end of the first lap. So on the 5th corner, I tried to make a move to get up into 4th place, but I went off the road, and instead of gaining a position, I actually lost a position. But fortunately, after a few corners, I was able to retake my position. And now on the last corner of the first lap, I was able to gain 2 positions, not 1, but 2 positions to get myself up into 3rd place and in a good spot to start the 2nd lap. On the first corner, I quickly overtook the 2nd position car, putting me up into 2nd position, and now there was no one between me and the race leader. I still wasn't breaking away from the pack, as I could see all those pesky Arbarth 500s in my rearview mirror, so I definitely wasn't out of the clear yet. I spent the rest of the race trying to chase down the race leader, but I just couldn't do it, couldn't pull it off, so I ended up getting 2nd place. Not bad for my first race in Assetto Corsa. And here's the race results. There's me, Rob Young, 2nd place. Pretty good for my first race. Our next race is in a much better car. I believe it's pronounced the Alfa Romeo Giulietta QV Magione. This car has much better performance than the first car we were in, so this should be a lot more fun. The time attack started out well, except for a couple of mishaps where I went off the track, but for the most part I handled the car and the track very well. I completed the 2nd time attack without any problems, So now we can advance to the second race in the Novice Series. So this is our second race, 8 challenges. I'm starting off in 8th position in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see how we can do. The start of any race is critical, and thankfully I got a good jump off the line. I immediately went out ahead of 2 other drivers and made a move on the 3rd, heading into the first corner. Heading into the second corner, I thought I saw a gap, but the car in 4th place quickly closed in as I rammed into the back end. I maintained my position in 5th place to the 3rd corner and went for the hard pass through the 4th corner. It wasn't pretty, but I pulled it off. So now about 2/3 of the way around the track, and I was in 4th position. And I was pushing as hard as possible. As a side note, this is the very first race where I've been accelerating with one foot and braking with the other. Every other race, I would be that 1 foot kind of guy. I do like it. It does take some getting used to, but hopefully it can help me improve my racing skills. I kept my position in 4th place through the windy section of the track, and luckily, with the power of the Alfa Romeo, I was able to start reeling in the race leaders on the straightaway. On the second straightaway, I made my move and advanced into 3rd place just behind the 90s era BMW M3. Once I was behind the BMW, I took the inside line and we had a little fight between a couple of corners until I barely inched him out and advanced into 2nd place on the back straightaway. Now the only thing between me and the very first win in Assetto Corsa was an empty track. I felt that I had better pace than the race leader, and I just bared down, tried to stay consistent, and hopefully not make any mistakes so I could start reeling him in. It didn't take me long to get close to the leader on the straightaway, and I decided to just go for it and dive into the corner, putting me into 1st place. And for the remainder of the race, I was able to pull away from the entire pack with just the open track ahead of me. By the end of the race, I was all alone and far ahead of all the other drivers and ended up getting my very first win in Assetto Corsa. So here are the race results. I was 23 seconds ahead of everyone else. Pretty happy with that race. Alright, so we made it to the last challenge of the N1 series. This is another time attack, but with a twist. We'll be in the BMW M3 E30, which is the most powerful car we've been in so far, but the description says the track is dusty. So we have more power, more dust, less grip. It should be interesting. Let's do it. Right off the start, I can feel that this car is much more powerful than the other cars I've been in this series. And in the first corner, I brake way too late, go off the track, into the sand, almost hit the wall. So I really have to be careful on how I approach this track. More power, sandy surface, so I have to be a little more conservative. So for the remainder of the first lap, I drive like a granny around the corners, just to make sure I don't go off the track. Since I don't want to hit a wall or get points deducted for going off the track, I figured I'd take it slow and then start slowly increasing my speed so I could successfully finish this time attack. So for the rest of the time attack, I was sliding and slipping all over the course. I even think I drifted at one point, but I didn't have any trouble completing the time attack. I finished it successfully, and now I can say we are done with the Novice 1 series, and now we're moving up to Novice 2. Well, that's the end of this video. We completed the Novice 1 series. Now we're going to head over to the Novice 2 in the next video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you can, please subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them down below. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a good day.